Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Okay, so this is a little bit of a different setup because holy crap, I'm live on YouTube and hopefully on Twitch as well, and everything's working fine. Oh my gosh, I'm beside myself right now. But anyway, Happy New Year, everybody. And from the title of the stream, you can see that we are basically kicking off Battle of the Bookish, which, if you don't know what Battle of the Bookish is, I basically host a readathon with some friends that I've been doing for several years at this point. My gosh, it's been 5, 6 years, something like that. Adri would probably know better than me, but holy crap, yeah, it's Battle of the Bookish time, and your girl is all done with like stuff. Hi, Adri. Hello. Speak of the person as she shall appear. I would say devil, but you're not a devil. You're an absolute sweetheart angel, and I love you to bits. So thank you. So I am so excited for this. I've got bots on Twitch. I've got this set up here. This is the super sweet bot that basically is a Pomo timer system. So I've got commands, that people like can use. Specifically, if you're on Twitch, you can use it. I don't know whether or not on YouTube you can, but like over here in this top box here is basically like a task list. So I'm gonna basically try to see if I can do it on my end, but um, so I've got like one little task right here. It's a little first one right there. Also, if sorry if you can hear my dryer going off. So got this. We're on year 7. Oh, between doing Battle of the Bookish and initially House Cup. Yeah. Wow. So I wasn't too proud of myself. Well done, me. Let me see if I can do this. So task. I want to do. Actually, I want to do task. Still, I do this a lot better when I'm watching other people who use this bot on stream, like Allie from with Allie or with Malice or anything like that, or other cozy productivity streamers or anything like that. So I'm a lot better about it with theirs. So this is gonna take me a second because especially I don't have my glasses on because they cause a weird glare. So we're gonna do task. We're gonna do read Rhythm of War. Before we start, too, I'm going to showcase. Oh, sweet! It did it right away. Woohoo! Woohoo! And it just went straight to Twitch. So, for those of you that don't know how to use the bot, there is a little task list thing over in the left. It has like how you do things and like you the commands and stuff to do that, and how to mark them as completed. This is meant to be basically productivity, reading, co-working sprints, whatever you want to do. Because truthfully, I found those to be really, really calming in the last couple of months. When especially I was in the end of my master's program and really struggling with productivity issues and motivation issues. This has been like my lifesaver. And do I always complete the tasks on the board? No, not at all. Do I do my best and just go from there? Yes. And what's nice is that a lot of times too, you get to carry over the tasks. Like no matter what streamer you're on, the bot, like basically once you get it set up, knows what you're doing. And so it kind of like carries it over. And I see that it also did it on YouTube, which is fine. I'm fine with that. I don't know whether or not it works on YouTube. Somebody could try it out and let me know if it does anything. But yeah, so if you, especially you're on Twitch, watching me, which thank you if you are watching me on Twitch. I really appreciate it. It's my own little corner of the world that I haven't been in a long time. I think the last time I actually streamed anything on Twitch was probably 2023, I want to say. Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head. So it's been a minute. But anyway, none of that's what you're here about. So today we are doing kickoff sprints for Battle of the Bookish, which, like I said, is a readathon I've been hosting with my friend Adri, who is here for the last several years, going on close to 10 years, which is crazy to me. But basically, it's a readathon, which is a team-based readathon where teams essentially read books that ascribe to certain amounts of page points based on the page length of the book, as well as the if it fulfills like a certain reading prompt of sorts, they get points for that as well. And so, for my friends that are Battle of the Bookish peeps who are here, if you end up finishing a book during the sprints and end up on our Discord, putting them into the point redemption tab of your team, if you do that, then you will earn extra points on top of your book. Okay. Thank you, Adri, for testing it out. I don't think it's working on the YouTube end. But hey, I appreciate you trying. Thank you. Yeah, I figured it was mostly a Twitch thing, but it couldn't have hurt. So yeah. But anyway, that is neither here nor there. But yeah, let's take a little bit of time to just kind of catch up because it's been a minute, especially for my friends on Twitch, who haven't seen me in a while. Like it's really been a minute. So like I said, I finished my master's course in December. I finished it about 3 weeks ago, and I have my diploma officially. It's not in this room right now, and I'm not going to pull it out for privacy reasons. But I did finish my master's course, so I am now complete with my special education master's degree, focusing in autism spectrum disorder. So I am still, though, in my student teaching apprentice kind of thing, where like I'm still working as like a student teacher, except I get paid for it as opposed to what most people do with student teaching. So that's a really good thing, but it gives me a lot more hands-on experience with being a teacher. So thank you. Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, guys. It was a year and a half of grinding and just really putting my head to this to the wheel, or whatever that phrase is. Put my head to the stone. I don't freaking know. But essentially, yeah, I finished that up, and I just finish out the rest of the school year and finish out my apprenticeship, which has its own like requirements and things like that, which aren't really a lot. But I mean, to be completely honest, since like the beginning of the school year, I've been teaching like 90% of the content. My mentor teacher teaches one subject. And we actually, they'll have a new student who's coming in beginning of the school year, which is we start back on Monday. Ugh, not looking forward to that in some ways, but in other ways, I do miss my students. I really do. But so my mentor teacher, she's going to be basically focusing on this new student with getting him set up and getting him all figured out, figuring out what we need to do with him specifically, where I focus on the rest of the class who I've been there for the rest of the school year. So this is interesting. And so what's really interesting for me is not having an education background, I didn't get a lot of the lesson planning knowledge, the differentiated learning knowledge, where it's like, based on where your students at, how do you meet them halfway with your teaching, and how do you get them to where you need them to be. And then there's the idea of I do, we do, you do, where it's like I show you how to do something, we do it together, then you do it on your own, to kind of showcase learning. A lot of that stuff I would have learned if I had gone into education initially for my bachelor's, but I didn't. So I'm through this apprenticeship, essentially, I am learning everything that I would probably have learned in an education bachelor's area. I'm learning it now, which is, I think, one of the benefits to doing the apprenticeship, because it's a lot more intense, but it is very much you are thrown into the situation, and it's very much sink or swim for a lot of people. But I'm proud of myself, so cheers to that. I am so proud that I have gone through the probably the most difficult part, honestly, which is the school part of it. And now I just get to kind of not really sit back and relax, but I get to actually like take a little bit more time to do the things I would like to do creatively. Not gonna lie though, like even when I wasn't in school and things like that, that was a little bit of a problem, like getting to do those things. But we're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna look onward and upward, and we're gonna continue on. Also, Adri, It's not great, but you'd be so proud of me. This is that shirt cardigan thing I made with your help, with your assistance of reading the pattern. It didn't turn out at all what it initially was going to be, but I did it that way specifically because I wanted it to be more of this. One more semester left of your master's. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know, Lindsay. Like seriously, it was so hard. Like especially when we got to like Thanksgiving, like the last couple of weeks, I was like, what? Adri, stop it. Thank you so much for the sub. You are such a sweetheart. I love you so, so, so much. Thank you so much. So, thank you. I'll show you the whole thing. Here, let me back up a little bit. So it's like it's basically like a giant cardigan. It was initially supposed to be like a wrap shirt that was going to be much smaller, mind you. But I specifically went in with a different type of yarn, a different gauge of yarn, stuff like that because I'm so glad that I just met my sub goal. I only set it to 1 on Twitch, but hey, I just met my sub goal. Woohoo! So yeah, I initially wanted it to be like a shirt, but then I was like, no, I want to make it like actually more of like a cardigan. And then the further I got, the more I was like, yeah, this is going to be a cardigan. There's no way I can go back and fix this without starting completely from scratch. But for my first like clothing project that actually is completed for the most part, I'm pretty proud of it. I have a lot of projects going on right now, crochet wise. I am working on a sweater for Oscar, and I'm going to make the same one for Dougie, but they're going to be different colors. And this is like the third time I'm trying this sweater because I messed up the first 2 times. Um, I've got a blanket, 2 blankets I'm going to start this year. One is going to be for the amount of pages I read each day. The second is going to be another star rating blanket, which is what I did for last year. It's the one I did last year though was really small, so it's kind of a puppy blanket now. The dogs have it. It fits them perfectly, Kate, changing those gauges will definitely throw you off, but it turned out. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, especially when I went to try to sew it together to make the wrap part, I was like, "Oh no, this is not going to work. This is not happening." Nope, this is going to be a cardigan, but it's actually really cozy. I love it. Like I was going to put on this like hooded vest cardigan thing I got from for Christmas, that for my sister, but it doesn't have sleeves on it, and I was a little chilly up here. So I was like, "No, we're going to put on the cardigan I made that's been sitting on my door since I finished it cuz I haven't had enough of a reason to wear it until now cuz now I'm cold." But any hoozles, let's talk about what else is going on. So yeah, I've got lots of projects going on. I'll be doing some of them today while I do some reading, but I have a few things I would like to read. One of which I have already started today. One book I started technically in the end, like the last week of 2025, but I'm not very far into it. Like I think I'm like 20% of the way through it, but it's a short audiobook, so you wouldn't be able to tell that an hour ago I took my meds and I've been drinking sleepy time tea. But you wouldn't be able to tell because this is how I am. As far as how long the stream's gonna go, I don't really know. It's gonna depend on how long I feel. However, be prepared, both YouTube and Twitch. I will be streaming a lot more often and a lot more consistently, hopefully. So have you on Twitch and my iPad and YouTube on my phone. You are the best. I love you. Thank you. I love you, Adri. Thank you. You're the best. Okay, so first things first, I need to get to my page goal for today for With Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. I'm nearly there. I've like less than 30 pages till I hit my goal for today, but I've tabbed it up every 100 pages so that I can try to get this and Rhythm of War done this month because I've been working on a project for freaking ever on this series, for my big TBR series that I was doing on my channel. I've been on this series for like 6 months. It's gotta stop. I gotta move on. I just started this earlier today, so I'll be working on this first to get this done. Then I will probably transition over to Game Changers by Rachel Reed, which, if you don't know, is a male hockey romance series. Everyone's been talking about Heated Rivalry recently, and so I decided to start from the very first book and go from there. I'm loving Game Changer. Like, Chris and, oh God, what is his name? Kip. I was really gonna be mad if I forgot. But Chris and Kip are so sweet. I adore Chris so much. Oh my God. But then the other books I'm going to work on, hopefully tonight, are the final book in the Bromance Book Club series by Lissa K. Adams, A Very Merry Bromance. I also have the third and final book in the Glimmer Fall series, A Werewolf's Guide to Seducing a Vampire by Sarah Hawley. And then I have a manga, which I'll probably do after I get through some of Game Changer, because this is going to probably take me the most amount of time to get through, but it is the first volume of Jujutsu Kaisen by Gigi Akutami. This specifically is for a prompt. I mean, most of these books are going to go for my Roll for TBR video that I posted on YouTube here earlier today. And this, though, is for specifically my attack roll for that, where essentially, like, when I complete it, I will get extra points to go toward attacking my monster. So, um, yay! Now you got it on. Now you got it on Twitch. Woohoo! Okay, so fantastic. So let me know, what are you guys working on right now? What are you planning on doing today? If you're on Twitch, make sure to add it to the task list over here. Add it to the task list if you would like, to keep track of what you're doing, keep track of what you plan on doing. My hope is that I will go to midnight EST, but we'll see, because I took my meds at about 7:30 to make sure I didn't miss them when I went live. Usually they last about an hour and a half in my body before I start getting sleepy and need to go to bed. So we're gonna try. We're gonna try to get through a couple hours. I think I can last till at least 10, but we're gonna shoot for midnight. We'll see. But I've also been a little bit not sicky necessarily, but I've had the sniffles for the last couple days. So like my nose has been running like crazy. But it could be worse, because my whole family ended up getting some kind of stomach bug right after Christmas, and somehow my husband and I missed out on that, which I am knocking on wood that we continue to keep away from that. But I did get the sniffles. So there's that. And I've got a cold sore on my lip that's bugging the crap out of me. You can kind of see it right in there. It's annoying. Any hoozles. How is everyone? What is going on? What are you doing? How did your end of your year go? Obviously finishing an elephant, also reading something. Unsure what. Yeah, it's okay. So I don't think I'm gonna crochet anything tonight, because I did do a lot of crocheting earlier to finish the like chest piece of the sweater for Oscar. But I think that, at least to get me through the last little bit of Rhythm of War, I'm gonna work on my paint by number, which is, as you can see, a witchy one. So we're gonna work on that. We're gonna get through a couple colors of that, hopefully, and call that good. Reading Fixing Flamingos by Lucienne Brown. Started it today, and oh my goodness, 65% done. It's a shorter book, but it's hilarious. Nice. Yes, you can use the. Okay, so basically, what you're gonna do, every task on Twitch that you decide to put on, you can just say task and whatever it is, and it's gonna add it to a list. So if you look on my tasks that I have here, there's active task, which I set for Rhythm of War, and then there's a backlog. And in the task list, you can just say task this. You can say now I want to do this, which will make it an active task. You can say later, and it'll add it to the backlog, things like that. Hi, Hillary. Hello, welcome. Ooh, reading The Silent Patient and knitting. Ooh, I like The Silent Patient. Take care of those wrists. Don't be done like me and end up with carpal tunnel. Yeah, no, I mean, my wrists, like, they work constantly because I'm constantly typing, doing stuff. But yeah, I try not to do too much in terms of crocheting. When I feel my hands getting like kind of sore after probably like 10, 12 rows, I stop because I just know that I'm not gonna be okay. But yes, you can add, Adri, you can basically do like now, the now command, you can do that first to make it an active task, and then you can do later to add it to like a backlog. That way, like you're not just going through the same thing like all the time. So, yeah, it's a really fun bot when you're on, like if you get to get to go watch any other cozy co-working and productivity streamers on Twitch. It's a very common bot to use, so you'll probably see it a lot. I'm definitely going to continue to use it because I absolutely love using it in streams of other people's, and I'm so excited to be able to use it for right now. But then I got my little doggy, my little bongo cat doggy. So I'm very excited. Anyway, I'm just so thrilled to be back and doing these things. So I hope everyone's doing good. I think we're gonna go ahead and start our first sprint. Now, how we're gonna do this is because it's a Pomo-based timing system. We're gonna do about 50-minute sprints with 10-minute breaks. Okay, so that's how we're gonna do it. We're not gonna do the D20 rolls as much as I love doing them. I mean, we definitely could. I could always change it if I wanted to, but I don't really want to for this one. So we're just gonna go with that, and y'all are just gonna have to be okay with it. Sorry to say. Anyway, all right, let me go ahead and get the timer set up here real quick. So I gotta do timer. I think it's, yeah, 50, 10, right? I think that's how I do it. Let's see. Yes, okay, there we go. So, timer's going, and I will see you guys in 50 minutes. All right, folks, that is the end of the first sprint. I did get to my goal for today. I am on page 103 of Rhythm of War. And then I got through a chapter of Game Changer, which is good enough for me for today. I just basically wanted to use up the rest of the timer that I had. So I got through a chapter of that. So I'm at 28% of Game Changer, and I'm just going through and updating my Goodreads, my story graph, and my page bound because I am absolutely freaking insane and decided to track my stuff in 3 different apps on top of a reading spreadsheet that I got for free from another booktuber that created it. I'm just a little on the insane side if y'all did not know. And if you didn't, welcome to the shit show. That's where we're at. So, all right. So I think next sprint I'm gonna work on Jujutsu Kaisen. We're gonna do that. So, but how was that for everybody? How did we do? Made it to 52% in the silent patient and did a few rows of my scarf. Very nice. How are you liking the silent patient? Because I think I've read all of Alex Michaelides' books thus far. I've read The Silent Patient, The Maidens, and The Fury. And I think The Silent Patient is my least favorite of the three, but I still enjoyed it. Hi, hi, my love. How are you? Also, hi, Kay. I noticed that you came in earlier, but hi, guys. Hello, my loves. I missed you all. Working on Girl Scout stuff. We're 2 weeks behind. No, I hate that for you. Yikes. Oh no. I hope you get all caught up. I hope that these will help you get all caught up with that. Good God. I mean, like, holy moly. I'm in chapter 6 of my book, and I have the elephant almost done. Still have to finish his trunk and ears. Very cute. I can't wait to see him. Interesting so far, but middle of the road. Yeah, I was pretty middle of the road for a long time. Like, the ending definitely made it, like, saved it for me personally. But compared to how the Maidens was, and especially the Fury, I loved the Fury. I thought it was really good. Compared to those two, like the Silent Patient was the least liked of the three, but the Maidens was not that far off, I will say. I'm 92%. Nice job, Lindsay. Yeah, you'll definitely finish it this next sprint for sure. Really? It's your favorite of the three. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, that just it is what it is. No, I feel like with the silent patient in particular, it was really slow for me. Good, thank you. Send links. I want Girl Scout cookies again this year. I will get them. Um, but no, with the silent patient, for some reason, for me, when I was going through it, it just was really slow. And the Maidens was slow. Don't get me wrong. The Fury was a lot faster. The Fury was a lot more fast paced. Oh, hi, Bubba. Hi, baby. We have an Oscar who has decided to join us. Hello, sweet boy. What are you doing? Are you coming to tell me you need to go potty? Well, you're gonna have to wait because I still got 6 minutes left of my timer. He's turned his face because he's like, "You're on camera. Why are you on camera?" But for those of you that don't know, he's kind of hiding. But this little white thing right here. Oh, big yawn. This is my oldest Oscar. He is a for those of you that don't know, have not seen me before, my one of my two German Shepherd Husky mixes. Yes, he's my little man. He's my oldest. He just turned 4 in November, and Dougie turns 3 in March. Ooh, my boys are getting so old. But no. So with the Silent Patient, I just found that the build up was slow paced for me to where I felt like I kept missing things over the time that I was reading it. The Maidens was a little bit easier to like get through that. It was still very slow paced though. But the Fury, it was like you were in and you were like right in it. And I think that that speaks to how his writing has progressed over time because he came out with the Silent Patient, then the Maidens, then the Fury. Um and I don't know, just I mean, I still like the Silent Patient. Don't get me wrong. Like I still liked it. It's just out of the three, my least favorite. But I think that that kind of also is a little biased because the Fury felt very much like And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, which is one of my favorite stories. Okay, bye, Oscar. Um, so I feel like that I'm a little biased when I think of that because And Then There Were None is like one of my favorite like mystery thrillers that there is. So that's my personal thoughts though. But I'm hoping that it goes better for you. I hope that you enjoy the ending. I definitely, Hillary, think that the ending was probably my favorite part of it. Have you read The Maidens or The Fury at all? Because I'd be curious to know what your thoughts are. Yeah, The Fury, it's more like, I mean, it's a little slower paced, you know, at some points. But comparatively, especially like I think my sister also equated it to like Knives Out, if I'm not mistaken. Like the switching of perspectives and like or like with Clue, you know, where they have like the different endings and things like that. It's not like a different endings kind of story, but it bounces from all the different characters over the course of the story. And like so like you'll back up a little bit in time to figure out what happened to this character that led them to this situation, and like you know you kind of do one of those things. So I think if I'm not mistaken, she equated it to Knives Out. Um, which I've never seen Knives Out. I've not watched any of those movies, so I have no frame of reference. But I think she said if you liked that, you would enjoy The Fury. But then, like I said, the Agatha Christie vibes are also very strong with that book, in my opinion. Whoops, don't break your glasses there, Gab. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, I think next spring I'm gonna start working through Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't know if I'll finish it. I mean, it's not a very long manga. At least this first volume, it's 190 pages or so. So I maybe finish it in the first. I don't know, maybe finish it in 50 minutes, but I highly doubt it because sometimes I'd like to take my time and look at the art. And especially with this, from what I understand, the art's pretty cool to look at. So, pretty excited. Um, I was gonna say something else and I can't remember. I feel like I half the time when I go on stream, I feel like I have all these things I want to say, all these things I want to talk about, and then it's just like gone out the window, just bye. Um, and then I just get loopy and I just get goofy because I am not a normal person. My brain is mentally ill. I was actually having this conversation with a friend of mine not too long ago where like as someone who has PTSD, anxiety, depression, bipolar, very likely ADHD, very likely some form of autism to some extent because there are so many things that check boxes all the freaking time. We like it's so weird. Like we were like the quirky kids growing up and it's one of those things where like now as an adult, like for the most part, like it's cool to be like this in a lot of ways. But then there's just like you look at kids that like in my position, right? I work with kids who have autism, right? Says the person who just finished her master's and can't even I can't get even out of bed. No, I mean seriously though, like I have all these different things going on in my brain. But then, like, I look at my kids that I work with, and I was having this conversation with one of my friends not too long ago, and like it's just so weird seeing myself in these kids because There's so many things that I like either vibe with them on fully or I relate to with them fully, and I'm like, for the love of God, some I always knew I had a few screws loose. I didn't know how many I had loose until I started working with these kids. But it is what it is. We're just mentally not all there. At least from my end. But no, it's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. Life's a trash fire. I'm the trash in the dumpster that's on fire. That's going to be my new saying. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our next sprint here. So I'm going to reset the timer so that we can get started. So we'll do another 50, and I will see you guys when we're done. Excuse me. All right, guys. Unfortunately, I do think I'm gonna end the sprints there. I am starting to get a headache, and I think I need to go lay down and go to sleep. Um, I do think, let me double check this real quick. Yes, tomorrow I am, though, going to be sprinting again. I'm going to be doing sprints again, and we're going to do usually like every Friday, I'll be hosting co-working sprints, productivity, reading sprints, whatever it is. So yeah, every Friday starting at 8 p.m. EST, we will be doing that. And then I'll do some like surprise ones every now and then if I have like a day off or something like that. So yeah, but I did during that time get through the entirety of Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 1. I'm thinking it's gonna be like a four and a half. So I liked it. I liked it a lot more than I expected to. And I think I'm going to see if Kindle Unlimited has the next volumes available because I'm kind of interested in continuing it. Um, but yeah, it was actually pretty good. I liked it. So yeah, but I wanted to thank everyone for joining me today. Thank you everyone for hanging out and for the follows and for the subs and all of that. I really appreciate it. So yeah, I will be here tomorrow, 8 p.m. EST for more co-working sprints. So I hope everyone has a great night, and I will see all of you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.